I feel like you're looking at your hands and you're like, my hands are tied. There's nothing I can do. But the soul connection is very undeniable. What I have here is the Two of Cups. They're looking at each other and they both recognize the connection that they have with one another. And I feel almost like it's nothing can be done, nothing can be acted upon because you're in a relationship. And yes, this connection is very strong, it's undeniable, and the other person's aware of it too, but they're also aware that your hands are tied. So unless you move away from it, unless you make some major transformation in your life with the Death card here and move away from it, then the two of you can be together. And I feel like some of you are contemplating, like you're building that bridge to extend across the river or the stream so that you can get to the other side. It's a slow process. You're building it brick by brick. It's going to take some time and you're doing it on your own. So I feel like some of you are thinking about possibly leaving a partner or leaving a marriage situation, and you're biding your time, or you're waiting for the perfect moment, or you're trying to get everything in order first before you make this transition. You're getting, your finances sorted out. You're trying to figure out, where am I going to stay? Where are the kids going to go? And I feel like you might be doing it by yourself. Like you might be consulting a lawyer without your partner knowing. You might be checking your bank account, trying to talk to a financial planner in order to get the process started. And you're trying to figure out, how much am I going to have to pay in child support? How much am I going to have to pay in alimony? How much is the whole, court proceeding going to cost? Am I able to afford it? And things like that. So you're trying to flush out the details. You're doing the preliminary research. But I definitely feel like you've already made up your mind that you want to transition. So that's what I'm seeing. And I feel like for many of you, you have left a relationship and you're heading into another relationship. And it seems like there isn't any time at all for, being on your own and healing and kind of processing everything that happened. Because I feel like one relationship left you very, very dejected. And then the next person that you meet, they kind of really uplift you. And so you're transitioning like seamlessly from one relationship to the next. And the universe is pretty much telling you to slow down, take some time to be on your own, take some time to process what happened, and take some time for you to be okay first on your own before you rush into this next relationship. They like you. They're not going to go anywhere. What I have here is the Ace of Cups. This is new love. Something that is brand new, that is being offered to you. And I have here the Nine of Cups, which basically means the person that is coming through, that is the new person, is very much close to your, it's like your ideal version of Mr. or Mrs. Right, okay? So this is somebody that is quite significant, and you feel like you can build with this person, like it's going to be there for the long haul, or you feel like you can, have a family with this person. So if you feel that way, you need to make sure you come into it 100% ready. And so if you still have, pains and heartache, Ten of Swords, from previous relationships, or you feel like you still have attachments or emotions that are unresolved, or that you're not really sure if you're done with it yet, you need to make sure you are done before you transition, because this is something that has a lot of potential and you want to do it right. Okay. We want to do things right. I see a lot of people though. So I do see you, and I do see two other people. One is the Two of Cups. One is the Ace of Cups. And we have the Hangman as well that's showing up, which basically means weighing out the pros and cons. Staying in a situation possibly because of financial ties. Staying in a situation because of these, they're kind of like, what do you call them? Restrictions. They're self-imposed restrictions. And so you want to free yourself. You want to move on, but you have these things that are holding you back, and they're not real. we have the devil here. It's the puppet master. It's somebody that has control or sway over you. Okay, but this puppet, he's got a pair of scissors. He can cut himself loose at any time. So it's nothing that's binding, and it's not really, no one is like, holding a knife to your throat and telling you need to stay. Or no one is threatening bodily harm. No one is forcing you against your will. And so I definitely feel like it's a situation where you're feeling like you're sacrificing your happiness for some greater purpose, for some greater goals. And for example, I feel some of you might have children, and you don't want to sever ties with your existing partner because you don't want the children to grow up in a broken home. And that's very noble. And I feel some of you feel like you're making sacrifices. You're sacrificing your happiness to provide that stable home life for the kids. You're sacrificing your new relationship so that you can, be a better, be a better parent. And that's the way you're looking at it. That's the way you justify the situation. That's the way you rationalize the situation. And once again, this can also be the person that you're dealing with. Some of you might be dealing with somebody who's in another relationship. And that's how they're rationalizing their situation. And in the meantime, you wait for them to sort out things from their end. And I feel like it's going to be quite a long waiting process. And if you're okay with that, then that's fine. But I feel like it's not going to be, a few months. I feel like it might be a few years. So if that's how they rationalize it, you might need to kind of ask yourself if the wait is okay for you. If you don't have a definitive end date, are you okay with that? Are you okay with waiting? And then likewise, if you're the one that's in the relationship and you don't have the definitive end date, is it fair to ask the other person to wait for you? Okay, so this dynamic, I definitely see like three people. I definitely see a relationship that should end. And I feel like a new relationship has the potential to be really great. But for whatever reason, somebody's rationalizing staying in a situation because they feel like there's a more noble, they're making a sacrifice for a noble end. And I feel like that's not really the case. There definitely is some financial entanglements between them and another person. So if their rationale is, it's for a noble cause, I think like that's a lie that they tell themselves. That's not really grounded in reality. And I keep getting this, this hangman. Somebody is saying something, rationalizing a situation, and it's not really grounded on reality. It's kind of like the lie that we tell ourselves to make the situations to justify a situation or to make a situation more bearable, but is not really grounded on reality. Okay, so I definitely see some financial entanglements. That's disallowing one person to leave, and that's all it is. It has nothing to do with a noble cause or anything like that. And so let's not fool ourselves. I just feel like if someone just makes up their mind and leaves a situation, everything would be so much better. All the cards on the bottom row promise a lot of new beginnings and love and abundance. We have here the Two of Cups, the Death card, the Nine of Cups, which is a wish card, the Ace of Cups, which is the brand new love, and the Four of Swords, which is, no more fighting, no more pettiness, an end to all of that, and spiritual ascension. So everything here is just really, really good. If somebody chooses to just walk away and move on to the new phase in their lives, everything will be so much better. But all the cards on top indicate to me here, we have the Ten of Swords, which is betrayal, the Three of Wands reverse, waiting for something and it's not coming in, the Devil being tied to something, the Hangman being stuck in limbo, and the Fool in the reverse not making a change. doing the same things over and over and over again and not getting a different result because, of course, right? If you keep doing the same things, you get the same outcome. So we have some things here that we have to kind of face up to the truth about. And it could be, somebody that you're dealing with, or you might be in the situation and things are not working out anymore, but you keep building, you keep trying to mend the bridges, you keep trying to fix things. I'm seeing as well for many of you, there is a big realization here that what I'm feeling is there might be friends or there might be habits that you're headed towards that might not be good for you, okay? I see overindulgence. I also see a lot of drugs and alcohol and dependency, and I honestly feel drugs. And so you could be whatever age watching this, but I feel almost like you want to be a little bit careful about who you surround yourself with, and you want to be careful about the choices that you make. And you want to be careful as well. Mending bridges with the people, the relationships that have gone south, the people that really care about you. You want to just be careful about that, okay? Maintaining and preserving those relationships and putting them in a place of sacredness so that they don't get tarnished, so that they don't get damaged, okay? So really valuing the proper relationships and the proper people. And I know that I tend to get a little bit negative when it comes to readings for Libra, but I feel like this reading in general, there's definitely two different paths here that you can take. One path means letting go, letting the past go, jumping into something new, a new love relationship, a new partner that is waiting for you. And then the other path is about stagnation, and it's about, toxic situations. And I feel for some of you who might be a little bit younger too, branching off with a new group of friends who care about you, rather than getting involved with these group of friends who actually get you in trouble. Okay, so that's what I'm getting here with this spread. And I really can't, interpret it another way. And I feel like, you have so much potential here to walk the right path. So once again, this reading might run longer than expected, but I feel like I want to get the message, why the energy is so split right down the middle. First of all, we have here the world, and this usually denotes to me as well, a sense of protection. And here's the thing, when it comes to this protection, there is divine protection where, and Sagittarius, they get this because they are always divinely guided and protected. They're kind of clumsy, and a lot of the times they overestimate their abilities. And I don't know if, Sagittarius are cross-watching. If you are, no offense, but Sagittarius tend to overestimate the capabilities. They overextend their time, and they're a little bit more accident-prone. But they always bounce back. They always, land on their feet. It's divine protection. They're divinely protected by their ruling planet Jupiter. Okay? And then I feel for many of you, there's a sense here about somebody being very sheltered, okay? Protection coming from, not so much from the divine, but coming from a physical person. Every time you run into trouble, somebody is there to bail you out. Okay, so it's like you're living in a bubble. You're living in a bubble and you feel like life can never go wrong because every time something happens, somebody comes and bail me out. And obviously this is not going to apply to everybody. It's going to apply to those select few that are dealing with this issue because I'm asking why the energy is so split down the middle. It's like you're hitting a fork in the road and you're trying to decide on the path that you want to take, and one path will negate the other. If you choose this path where you're surrounding yourself with the wrong people and getting tempted to do the wrong things, that's what life is going to be like. Stagnation. lack of progress, okay? If you're choosing this really beautiful path, new friends, self-love, moving forward, recognizing, like mending bridges, okay? Mending the rifts between you and other people, acknowledging the mistakes that we have made to create these rifts, and then aiming to not make those mistakes in the future. I feel like it's going to allow you to reach a place of harmony. But going back to this, every time we make a mistake, somebody comes into the picture and bail us out. We don't learn. We don't learn as a result. And I feel like this is what life is about. Every time you made a mistake in the past, somebody has come and bailed you out. And so you're at this junction in your life right now, and you feel like, oh, if I take this path here, which is not good for me, at the end of the road, somebody's gonna, bail me out. And that's a fallacy. I don't think that's gonna happen. But you believe in it. And so what you do right now is very, very important, Libra. Don't let the choices that you make negatively affect the people around you. And especially, don't let the choices that people around you negatively affect your life as well. Surround yourself with better people. Surround yourself with people that really care about you. Okay, you have a lot of love here. So that's what I'm feeling, and I feel like that's why the cards are so clearly split down the middle. A lot of the times, life deals us with difficult circumstances and difficult situations, because before we were even born, we sign a soul contract. The lessons that we want to learn, the people that we want to meet, the people that we choose to be with, all of those are basically signed and created with your soul contract. And I feel like you have a lot of soulmates along the way that are trying to, they're in your life to show you a better way, to help us alleviate a situation. And I feel like you might not have realized who those people are until they're no longer in the picture. And then I also feel like, the life that you have chosen, it comes with a lot of divine protection. People protecting you, sheltering you from the negative things. But I feel like it's disallowing you an opportunity to really live your life, make your own choices, and to deal with your own consequences of those choices, because they always are there to soften the blow or cushion the fall or protect you in some way. And it's creating this false sense of security is what I'm feeling.